Okay, here we have a Sub-Zero Model 249R. It's all refrigerator. And I just picked this up. Customer didn't want to pay to get it fixed, so she gave it to me. And I want to show you what's going on here. There is a little hole in the evaporator somewhere over here. It's not a puncture. I've seen a lot of people puncture these things using a sharp knife or something to get the ice off, but I'm going to get some soap bubbles and see if we can pinpoint it. Okay, so I'm going to hook up my nitrogen tank. There is some pressure in the system. It's 50 pounds. I'm not seeing anything in there, but I know it has a leak because I found it. And then what we're going to do, we're going to solder that aluminum evaporator and repair the leak. Okay, let's add some pressure to the system. Okay, we got 120. It should be enough. I know it's here somewhere. I found it the other day. There it is, right there. See that bubble? You see the bubble? It's a real tiny little pinhole. As a matter of fact, this thing's been in my shop for a week and it still has Freon in it. So it's not a really big leak, but you can see right there the bubbles. So what we're going to do now is going to sand all this paint off here, score up the aluminum, and then we're going to take our torch and we're going to use silver burring solder with some aluminum flux. I'm going to show you how to solder it. First, we're going to empty the nitrogen out of there and the Freon. Okay, so right now what I want to do is mark this so I know where it is. It's right in here, in that area there. So we're going to sand this all down in this area right here, and we're going to solder that up. This is a technique you can practice. I practiced this for many years to get this technique down. I haven't done it in a long time, so let's see what happens. Okay, let's get this cleaned up. Get all the paint off. The hole is right on that joint there. Now, if you ever attempt to do this, my suggestion would be to practice first before you actually try to solder an evaporator like this. Get an old piece of aluminum. I also have some other aluminum soldering rods I bought offline that have worked before, but I'm going to do this the old way. Okay, let's get a wire brush. So what I got here is this is Harris aluminum soldering flux. This is silver burring solder for aluminum, but you can also buy aluminum solder, which I will show you. I have some somewhere in the shop. See, there's some paint on there that I want to get that off. And the one thing about aluminum, when you solder it, it oxidizes, and it's very difficult to do a good job if it's not clean. And one of the reasons why you can't solder aluminum joints like tubing is because you can't get the solder to flow down into the joint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get something to score that with. I want to get that paint off there. I mean, the leak isn't in this area. It's just that in order for the solder to flow, I might wind up having to fill in this whole area here. But this is going to help score the aluminum and give it something to bite into. All right. Of course, I could pull out my Dremel tool and use a wire brush on here. Okay. Let me get something to hold this door open. All right. You got to be really careful. Aluminum has a low melting point. Let's see what this flux looks like. It's still good. Okay. So I'm going to heat this up, and I'm going to put some flux on it to clean it a little bit. All right, I think we got it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to pressurize it. Nope, I think I'm going to do it again because it's a little bunched up here. don't know, I think we got it. Not sure. Not sure if I like that. But I'm pretty sure we covered that little hole. I would like to get some more solder up here. Get a little bit better bite. We're looking good down here. This is good here. But that hole was in this area over here. That looks pretty good. Now I could throw some white paint on there, clean it up a little bit more, but it's not necessary. All right, I think we got it. So now we need to pressurize the system with nitrogen and check for leaks. All right, stand by. Okay, I'm gonna hook this up to my high side gauge. $150. I get this set at $200. Let me see. About 175. My tank's almost empty. Oh, we got it. There's no leaks. A long time ago, many years ago, this was a really common problem where people would try to get their refrigerator defrosted quickly, because of course this is not an automatic defrost, and they'd wind up using a steak knife or something to lift the ice up and jam a hole. Now, that wasn't so bad, but when they did it up on the top, it's hard to solder. I don't even know if I could ever solder it up on the top. So what I did one day on a job is I turned the refrigerator upside down to solder the hole. And I let it sit for a while before I turned it back on, and it worked. It's still working today. I'm just going to pull a vacuum on it and recharge it to specs, which are right here somewhere. Let's see what this says. This is October looks like 91. October of 91. And this takes 4 ounces of R12. Okay, so this vacuum pump has been running overnight. And I put a process port on the dryer. It's down, it says 30, but it's pretty much impossible to get a 30-inch vacuum on Earth. Anyway, that's as far down as it can go. I'm going to close off the valve and gauge here. Okay. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to get our charging column and we're going to put 4 ounces of R12. I still have a tank of R12 here. Yep, there it is. Okay. Let me get back to you and finish this up. Okay, so I just put this charging column in the freezer for a little bit to cool it down so I can get the liquid in there. And we're going to put 4 ounces. And since this is generic, I mean virgin R12, we'll use the R12 scale. Let me bleed out any air. All right, let's see what we got here. Four ounces. Okay. Now, just FYI, you can still buy R12 if you want to pay $900 for a bottle, but you got to be careful where you buy it from, because if you buy it on the internet and it doesn't have a seal on it, it's probably not R12. It's probably Hot Shot. So, and that happened to me a couple times. I bought a couple of large tanks of R12 on eBay, and the guy was a crook. I asked him if the seals were on there, and he said, yeah, I got the tanks, the seals were not on there, and it took me 6 months to get my money back. Anyway, so be careful about where you buy it. But technically, you can still get it. Alright, so now, next thing to do is put that in the system. It's got a little bit of a leak. Okay, so now what I want to do is, before I open this up, I want to bleed out any air out of this hose. Okay, now we can plug this thing in and put vapor. We could put the liquid in through the high side, but I think what I'm going to do here is just let me get a cord. Okay, we want vapor, so we're going to invert the tank. Let's just let that sit for a while till we get all the Freon in there. All right. I'll get back to you as soon as we get all that gas in there. Okay. Freon's going in. Head pressure is about 120. I can't even hear that compressor running. And this is the reason why people buy Sub-Zeros. This refrigerator is 32 years old, and everything in here is original. So it speaks volumes about the quality of these products, and this is one of the reasons why I love working on them. And you understand why people buy them and spend a fortune for them. So I'm going to get a heat gun, going to get the rest of that Freon in there. Okay, so the back pressure is coming down. That's telling me the charging column is empty. Yep, back pressure's 15, going down 14. It's pretty much in the range. Head pressure's up a little bit. All right, we got 404, R22, R134A. So I don't have an R12 scale on here. We use the 134A, which is close, and that means the temperature should be around 107. It's at 115. It's close. Not perfect, but it's close. All right, so now we're down to 10 pounds back pressure. I'm satisfied. I think everything's okay. We'll let it run and button everything up. I'll put the cover on the back and then we'll close out this video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope it was informative for you. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions about Sub-Zeros or any service related issue. I've been in business for 56 years. I kind of know what's going on out there, but I'm not perfect. See you on the next one, guys.